Hi, thought I'd do a quick comparison video today that Hammond lovers might find interesting and appreciate. I'm going to compare the sound of this 1961 A102 with the sound of the 1959 B3 organ, the Hammond A102 going through Leslie 147 and the B3 going through this Leslie 122, the classic Leslie for each one. We're not going to be able to equalize the sound. Obviously, the Leslies will sound different no matter what. They're of different eras, different speakers, or at least the twirling speaker, the high speaker is different. But I'm trying to make them as equal as I could. The drawbar settings are exactly the same. We've tried to equalize the volume of the Leslies as best we could and try to come up with a relatively equal volume. Interesting part of the comparison is that the A102 is completely untouched, absolutely perfect, never been fiddled with, the backs, hardly ever been removed. Original wax cap A102. The B3 is 59, as I mentioned, was wax cap, but the caps were not great, and so the capacitors on the tone generator have been replaced. The preamp has been gone through and refreshed. A couple of other small modifications just to make the organ a bit hotter. It distorts a bit more, and generally has a great rock sound. But I thought, for the purposes of this comparison, I'm not trying to, compare a rock versus the standard or the distorted versus standard. I tried to get rid of as much distortion as I could, and just have an organ-to-organ comparison and just see what people thought. I don't have an opinion. They sound a little bit different. I'm not sure which one I like better. They're just different. But I'd be very interested in people's opinions on what they think. So A102 versus B3 coming up. And we'll do about 3 clips each, so you can get a sense in 3 different settings, get a sense of the different sounds, and do our best to make this interesting. Thanks. Because I know there'd be curiosity, and I should have made this clear at the beginning just to show the settings that we're going to use, and same settings on both organ. We've got, I guess, what a lot of people call a groove home setting, and then we're going to just switch to the B natural percussion on, all the switches forward, sort of the standard setting, and then when we go to the lower manual, it's just going to be a full organ setting, as you can see here. Not quite full out, just kind of at the edge of the ridge there, so not full out, but close to full out. So these are the settings that we're going to use. This organ, the B3, is, as I mentioned, 59. It tends to have a little bit of hiss and noise because it's sort of fully kitted out. It's got the organ mate reverb attached. It's got this ZD or ZD1 overdrive, which I won't play with today, but it's fun to play with as well. And as I said, it's got a pretty hot output, so it tends to have a little bit of noise through the Leslie. The A102 is, as I mentioned, completely untouched. Second owner, we bought it from the first owner, and in immaculate shape. There's really not a scratch on it, and this is the organ as it came from the factory, with a nice Leslie. The Leslie's not from the same year, but matches the wood, which was hard to find, but it's got a beautiful kind of very precise chimey sound to it, although it does have a little bit of distortion as well. Maybe we just turn the volume up a bit, you hear all the really nice key click on it.